Hello and welcome to the See-Through podcast presented by Herman's Auctioneers. Today we are joined by the wonderful Josh Reynolds, jeweller and stone setter from here in Dublin. Thanks a million for coming in.
Thank you.
Gonna get started by asking you a few kind of nice and simple questions like where are you from?
Easy
Tell us
in.
about yourself. So yeah, tell us about you.
From Dublin, Ireland, Dub through and through. Started off in the kind of art scene, I suppose in school I was always interested in drawing and stuff, but I didn't know I was ever going to go into jewelry design or anything like that. So from school I was not the best, so I knew kind of an art career or something that I didn't need high points for was a good option for me. So yeah, finished school and went to NCAD, applied and went straight in there. It was deadly, but they had a core year, but I was the first year, went to 3 years. Wanted to do media initially, and then I was kind of stirred away from it. People were like, it was off campus and it wasn't as fun, and I didn't get as much tutor time, so I was like, right, I'll do something in design, and wasn't great at drawing compared to some of my friends, and I was like, what can I do? And one night, one of the balls or something, one of the nights out in NCAD, I was talking to an older one of my friend's older brother's friend was in jewellery and metalwork, and he was like, "You should." I didn't even know it was a course in there, so I was like, "Right, let me go over, give it a go." And yeah, I kind of did 2 weeks of it. You could try out a couple different things if you weren't sure what you wanted to do, and yeah, loved it. So went into that and did 3 years in NCD. Yeah, afterwards I wasn't really qualified as more kind of art jewellery and kind of more design and how to like make a piece from scratch, like not copying other people's work, like where does your inspiration come from and all that. And that was I kind of learned a lot on that side of things. But when I finished, I was working in bars at the time. I couldn't really get an apprenticeship or anything because I would have just taken too much time away from like a goldsmith or jeweler. So I ended up going into jewelry sales then after a couple of years and kind of learning that side of thing. And yeah, do you want me to walk you through that? I can go straight through the whole process. So I did jewelry there, and then in sales, and then after a couple of months I was like, if I actually learn how to make these pieces, I'll be able to sell them myself, because I really enjoyed, like from working in hospitality, really enjoyed talking to people and just kind of I don't know, talking with people is I love doing, and designing and stuff like that. So I applied for the Design and Craft Council of Ireland's jewellery and goldsmithing course in Kilkenny, and that was fantastic. Got in there and did 2 years there. So then that's when I kind of started posting stuff on Instagram, and kind of things started to develop with my, it's like, wow, we can reach so many people online. So I was like, I can kind of see myself actually doing something from this and making money from it, and having a career in a creative kind of industry. So I was like, right, I need to like strike with the iron's hot. I need to find an apprenticeship or a job somewhere when I finish. So I went from Kilkenny to Sweden, and then I was there for a year, and then I went from Sweden to Antwerp. I came back to Dublin for a couple of months to kind of save up some money because it's not not cheap over there. And then I went to Antwerp to this school called the Alexander School, and Alexander is like very famous in the industry, like for stone setting, micro pave, use a microscope and highly polished gravers. And I going over, hadn't a clue how to do it, and I did 3 months there, and then it was like, oh wow, I can do this now. So it was, that was amazing. So yeah.
So how'd you end up back in Dublin?
I always knew Dublin was my home. Like I love it here, and I want to kind of setting up a business. Like kind of, like obviously living. I'm from Dublin, so it was kind of handy. I had somewhere, a base to go back in with my mammy, and I could like rent. I started renting a workshop. I was working for another jeweler, jeweler full time, but then I was kind of in the evenings working my own thing and kind of trying to build my social media and website and kind of figuring out the business side of things, stuff I didn't pay attention to in school, or they didn't teach in school. But and then I just kind of wanted to set up here, and I was like, if I can actually make a business here, it'd be like incredible. So starting to Have my own workshop in Dublin City Centre now, which is amazing. And yeah, so
So how did your like brand develop? Like how did you go about like say developing that brand? You have?
yeah. I suppose I was kind of posting stuff online and kind of showing people the process and showing people that like we can make quality pieces in Ireland, like not just myself, but like there's a lot of amazing craft people and designers, and often when you're buying like a big designer brand, you're not getting good quality, you're buying the brand name.
Shit.
So I was kind of filming some of the stuff when I was down in Kilkenny on Instagram and TikTok, and I was showing the kind of behind the scenes how pieces are made and quality, and kind of explaining to people like often mass produced pieces that are imported into like kind of retail stores are kind of hollowed out, and then I cut corners to kind of save money, but they might be cheaper, but a couple of years down the line you got to get something resized, or the thing falls apart and like the claws aren't set, or they kind of preset diamonds sometimes into wax and then cast the metal. So they kind of like, when I was over in Sweden, I was looking at a piece and by a big designer brand, won't name any names, and brand new, and they wanted the they wanted it engraved on the inside. So I got it, went to put it in the CAD, and then I just looked under the microscope, make sure all the stones were, everything was set properly, and the piece was like, I thought it was fake, like it was so badly done. And I turned to the Harut, who trained me in over there. He's an amazing goldsmith, he's been doing this since he's 14, Syrian guy. He was just like, yeah man, that's what you get with, like, I was like, really? So I was kind of like, right, if I kind of educate people online and show people the behind the scenes kind of thing, you're kind of getting a trust with people, and you're showing the process, you're not just showing the finished piece, or it's not sitting in a window. And I think people like kind of seeing that sort of thing, so people kind of interacted with stuff then, and then I started kind of doing limited collections of different pieces, and they like sold out, and I was like, all right, Daddy, this is good. And a lot of people were like, obviously want to see like smaller individual businesses do well and buy local and Irish. So, and I also like to promote other kind of businesses when I can, or do collaborations and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of.
So you think that's a trend? Do you think people wanting to kind of know more about what they buy is coming on?
Yeah, I think across a lot of industries now, like people want to know where the materials are coming from, like if they're sustainable, like you're not kind of buying like plated jewelry. Like obviously they have a place, but something that will last 5-6 months, and then the chain breaks, and then you're going to be throwing it away and buying something new. Whereas you can, like the ring that you have, you get sick of that in a couple of years. I can melt that down. I know you won't be. It's a beautiful piece, but you can melt it down, and there's I think people are more, and there's a lot more like in vintage shops, and people are buying quality pieces rather than like some certain high street kind of whatever fast fashion stuff.
Big time. Big time.
So kind of from a design point of view then, what would you say your biggest inspirations are, or what inspires you most?
With like some custom commissions and stuff, I like to talk to the person, the individual, and try to marry up something that between, if it's like an engagement ring with them and their partner, with something special to them that they can't get anywhere else, or they have their touch on it, and I put my design kind of ideas into it. I suppose with kind of my collections, I started a collection when I was down in Kilkenny I got given Dublin. We all got given our counties because we're all from different counties. There's 12 of us down there, and that kind of just developed and kind of kept on going. And I kind of so where I'm from, kind of like some of the harp pieces that I've made, kind of where I grew up in Clontarf, and the kind of pool bags and stuff like that. Like I have a lot more ideas now, that it's just trying to get the time and like to kind of develop a new kind of collection of stuff. And
very good.
In terms of like the process, like talk us through that process. So from like designing something to actually then making it, like producing it, like do you think that are they two separate things in your mind? Is there a relationship between them? Are they some way conjoined? Like how does that work?
Like so if you're designing a piece, like I see stuff, and I've worked on pieces before that someone maybe from a jewelry background hasn't known. So if something has to be assembled and it's cast, like, so maybe it's carved in wax or it's 3D modeled on a computer and it needs to go together, you need to be able to kind of polish up different components and how to assemble it. So from the design, you also need to think about how it's going to be put together, and if the stone's going to be set, or where the chain's going to go, how it's going to lie. So yeah, the design and the manufacturing is important, especially if you want a good quality piece that you're going to hand finish, that you're not going to like throw into like barrel rollers and stuff, and they kind of take the edges off. And so yeah, I think it's definitely very important to, like, especially with like rings and things that have settings in them, how do you get in behind there if it was already, because you get like a casting scale that you can't polish, so you need to kind of like file it and polish it before you do that.
So you start obviously with an idea, and then do you draw it? Do you?
Yeah, normally. So like a lot lately, I'm doing a lot of stone setting. I would like sit down with a customer, and it's really depends on like the best process for that piece. Some things are better off being done in CAD, like computer aided design. So you model it and 3D print it. Some pieces are better made from metal, like fabricate it, cut a piece out, turn it up or solder it to something else, melt something, kind of, yeah, like handmade pieces. And then some pieces are better kind of wax carved. So it depends how I do it. But yeah, I'd sit down, sketch it. Sometimes I'd use like I get a CAD render for the customer, so they can have an idea with the measurements, how it will look, and then they kind of getting a better idea of what you had in your head. So yeah, then you 3D print it, or you then get a cast from wax, and then you would polish it and kind of finish it. Well, make sure they're happy first, and then go ahead with that. Stone set. Yeah, stone setting is usually kind of the last thing you do before you you polish the piece, or you sometimes even polish it first and
then set it.
Yeah. So if you're working kind of a lot off commissions and things, is there a piece that stands out most to you?
Yeah, well, there's a couple pieces that I made down in Kilkenny that I kind of had a lot, like I had weeks to design, and that there was kind of my heart of Dublin, which was nice, and I had like two pieces together kind of for the north and south of the city, and kind of I put all my favorite Dublin slang words upside down on the roof of it, so it reflected on the gold in the middle and flipped down. I was like, "God, shite and Jesus," and yeah, I love that piece. But then more recently, like a commission that I got from one of the lads from Fontaine's DC, the band, Carlos O'Connell. He commissioned me to make a ring for his partner to celebrate their new, like, firstborn child. So that was like really special, especially because it was a celebrity. I was like, oh, no way. And they got up to me. It wasn't me like, can I give you free stuff? And obviously looked after him, but he's a friend of a friend, and he just messaged me one day, and he was really good, nice to work with. And I'd actually set that piece, so I designed it here, and then I went to Antwerp, so I was still training, and I didn't know how to stone set. So I was like this is gonna be like my first piece that I ever kind of, and like a week or two, three into the course, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like pay someone to do this properly. And then, like, as it came on, I was like, oh, I can do it, and really well as well, so you wouldn't get that with a lot of pieces, like the kind of highly polished gravers and bright cuts on the sides and measuring everything out. So yeah, it was that was really, it was like a mama ring, so it was nice. It was really personal, and yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Nice.
We deal with people, collectors and stuff like that all the time, and I think they always, the one question they put to me, particularly from an art point of view, would be like, what's changing, or what are the trends? Like, what are the trends in jewelry? Where are we going? What's changing at the moment?
A lot of stuff is still a lot of tools I use, a lot of the processes at bar, the kind of computer design is pretty. Jewelry is kind of made the same way, precious metals. One of the major things would be kind of lab trichome gems, especially diamonds. That's the big controversial thing. Everyone's it's split the industry. Like, some people are like, they're brilliant, some people are like, oh, they're not worth it, and they're crap. From my research in it, I believe that they're like diamonds are 10 on the Mohs scale, so they're the hardest stone. They're great for everyday wear, so they are a perfect stone for engagement rings and stuff like that. Natural diamonds, I feel, are very overpriced. There's that documentary you were talking about before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was it the what's the name?
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, and that kind of shows both sides of the kind of the industry, the lab ground and the natural. And obviously, I like to love gems that were created over millions of years. But I feel that these big companies have kind of they own the monopoly, and they've kind of forced the prices up way too high. And the laboratory ground diamonds are the exact same thing chemically and physically, from my research anyway. And the latest kind of science, they're the exact same. And yeah, they're like a fraction of the price. Like they could be like a fifth of the price of a natural diamond. So if you want to spend 30 grand on a natural diamond and you have it deadly, like beautiful, if you don't, there's alternatives like lab ground diamonds, and they look as good, and you can differentiate between the two most of the time. When you're buying diamonds now, they'll have engravings on the girdles, which is the side of the stone, and you get like I always buy diamonds or certificates, and they'll have like an engraving, and they'll say lab grown, or they'll have the serial number, even of if they're natural or lab. So in terms of investments and stuff, you hear about things like people are like, oh, naturals will hold their value more and stuff, but realistically, if you're buying any jewelry from kind of if a diamond from a store or whatever, you're going to be losing the tax and the VAT and all that sort of thing. So like the both have kind of fallen, I think, in recent months. Lab grounds are kind of gone down in value, but I don't think when you're buying a stone or a piece of jewelry, you're thinking about selling it. It's something special that, like, you can get someone a piece of glass and give it to them, but if it meant something, that's the most important thing. So I don't really try to get too sucked into the kind of market side of things. It's like, what do you want to spend? Whatever you make or give to your partner is gonna be special, or if it's a present or to mark any occasion. So that's kind of mostly the only change, I think, that I can kind of see. Like, there's kind of manufacturing things, but like, the end consumer, it's now kind of different, I don't think.
Well, there's definitely a push for more transparency with where things are being sourced from, ethical kind of production, all that kind of stuff. So
that's what I was trying to do with my social
exactly,
media kind of thing. So people kind of right, you're not trying to pull the wool over it, because companies have done that.
Of course,
especially jewelry.
So they're all kind of coming out now, and we're like, oh no, we're doing everything sustainable. Greenwashing things, but it's nice.
People charging natural diamond prices in lab growns.
There's a couple of companies now, one in particular, I won't name any names, that it's like 25 grand for a lab ground thing. I was like, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. But like, and there's also the side of things like, natural kind of mind side of things, and it's hard from being in Dublin here to like what's going on the other side of the world. Course, you hear stories, but like, the conditions people work in, and then there's also the amount of electricity or power it needs to make lab grounds. But a lot of kind of companies now are trying to use solar power. So I think, if they invest in it now, that it will kind of go that way. Kind of like, fur back in the day, faux fur is like, fur isn't a thing anymore, so it could go that kind of direction. So
do you think it'll change the perspective though on, like, I suppose, the excitement of seeing like a brilliant cut stone that's like an E colour? That's like not, that's super rare, but like unusual, let's say, an unusual stone, when now in theory could we not just order one from a lab?
You can do. Haven't really thought about that one. Like,
from a rarity point of view,
like the inclusions you find in diamonds, like the carbon or whatever that's in it, like that's the kind of the interesting part sometimes of gemstones. So with coloured stones, like you have emeralds, like they have loads of inclusions and they're quite interesting, whereas the kind of natural diamonds that don't have many inclusions, they don't really excite me that much.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know, like they're great. They refract the light, lovely. But yeah, like I think a natural and lab, I wouldn't. Both of them are kind of. I know, obviously, there won't. You can kind of manufacture more now of better flawless diamonds, but I don't think. I think maybe that's just a status thing. It's like, oh, my diamond is 4 carats or 1 carat, and it's this color. It's kind of just like a flex of how much money you spend.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So like from a design point of view, you wouldn't be thinking in your head when you're putting a stone together, like, I'd like this to be.
I always try to get, like, if it lab or natural, like you can get poor quality, but like less flawless diamonds in lab ground as well. So when you see like a big diamond, obviously, like, if you have a big 4 carats, have 4 worth in a place, and then a 4 carat pink diamond, and worth like $500,000 or natural, and it's like, oh, this is mental. But for regular size diamonds and stuff, it wouldn't really kind of phase me, but maybe it will to the customer, and that's kind of a decision that's up to them when they're buying the piece. It's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's kind of if you like it or not, so yeah.
Do you a quick fire round?
Yeah. You ready for this?
I don't know.
What's your favorite color?
Red.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like wearing it. I just loved it as a kid. I don't know why. It's like, yeah, it's just a nice, good color. Solid.
Ferrari cars.
Yeah.
yeah, probably. I was my whole family were Liverpool supporters, like, so I think that
yeah. You're red, nice.
If you had to pick 3 things to bring to a desert island, what would they be?
The practical items are like just
no,
stuff
all
I
your
couldn't live without.
practical items are
Pretty much everyone we've had in is trying to clarify, like, what am I allowed to bring? Like, do I need to bring, like, is my inhaler included?
Sun cream. I definitely need sun cream.
So yeah, you like your medical
yeah.
essentials, your food and all are provided.
Oh, they're there.
Yeah, it's luxuries.
It's luxuries.
Yeah.
Probably something to listen to music on. So I have a good knife already. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, music. Basically, music's all I need, really. A bit of music, maybe like Netflix, and we found. Like, that's it. Like, you have the beats. You don't even need those things. You know what I mean?
What music you listen to?
Oh God, a bit of everything, bars and stuff. I don't
Skip over.
Yeah. Fontaines, I already mentioned them, so they get another shout.
Yeah.
And as well as there's a Khaki Kid. He's a rapper. He's I love his stuff now. It's unbelievable. There's so many Irish artists who are doing great. And I enjoy listening to them. It's not like they're just Spotify. Whatever the get of the year thing.
Yeah.
It was like last year. It was like him, like Fontaines. Yeah, there's
supporting local.
Yeah, there's loads.
So music, Netflix on your phone.
One more thing. Can anyone here live without their phone? We're all so addicted to it. Like, you have withdrawals. But once you get over that, after 2 weeks,
exactly.
you sit on the beach,
island for 2 weeks.
join a nice coconut.
A straw for your coconut.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
Straw or no.
Yeah.
Is there a third thing you need?
Third
thing you have to bring?
Survival for Dummies book.
Yeah. Okay. Smart.
So I can live.
Very smart.
I'll run out
Very
of it.
good. Kind of related. Is there anything essential when you're in your studio, or if you're making something? What's essential to you in there for you to do some work?
My microscope right now.
Yeah.
Because I've learned. Some goldsmiths will use optivisors, but they're like a thing that you pull down over. They're like 10 times zoom. And I just can't use them. I have to get so close that I'm hitting myself in the face.
Yeah.
The microscope's brilliant, and when I kind of learned how to like clean up castings, not before I was stone setting under them. So just actually seeing what you're doing, I don't really file under. I usually do that at the peg, but if I'm using my pendulum motor, which I add like different tools to, like rubbers and to clean up surfaces and get them kind of crisp and perfect. Yeah, the microscope is probably something that I couldn't really do without anymore.
Nice.
If you could go back to any era in time, just for one day, when would it be?
Dinosaurs. I'd love to see a dinosaur.
There's your new collection, little dinosaurs.
Yeah. Dinosaur themed.
Or like
Nice.
the early 1920s or something. Just everyone dressed cool and
Yeah.
see what
Yeah.
see what the world is like.
Sick, sick. What's your favorite part of your job?
Probably when I finish a piece.
Yeah.
I love the process, but like sometimes things can be time consuming.
Mm.
So when you kind of put in the ultrasonic after, it's like
Yeah.
it cleans the piece, and yeah, seeing the polish come off it and you take it out and it's nice and shiny, you're like satisfied, and you check it and you're like, right, everything's good here.
Yeah.
There's no like marks or something you didn't see. And then like yeah, giving to the customer, seeing that they're kind of happy,
with it.
and you just get so used to looking at something
Yeah.
that not that devalues it, but so I don't know, if you're working on something for so long, you're kind of like, and then you see them just like
you
they're
get
gonna have this
fresh
piece forever. They
perspective
love
on
it.
it.
You're just kind of like, oh, this is special. Like
Yeah.
like
yeah,
they're
Yeah.
that's a nice
Nice.
feeling.
Yeah.
What is your most prized possession?
I have a little teddy that I got when I was the day I was born. Buttons, but I could do without him. But yeah, no, he's probably my
he's up
oldest.
there.
He's my oldest possession. He's great. He's probably somewhere under my bed or something. But,
But he's there.
I don't go to bed every night with buttons now. But, I have a knife from a knife maker, Patrick Brennan, down
Oh,
in
yeah.
Kenny, and I bought one of his knives before. It's beautiful leather work kind of sheet for it, and we became really close. He's amazing. He's a jeweler also, but he's a knife maker, and
Nice, cool. Very cool.
he gave me for Chris Kindle one year. It was meant to be like a 15-year-old budget or something. He gave me like Damascus steel hand forged knife, like with Bogyu, like 1,000-year-old Bogyu,
Wow.
or I think it was Bogyu. I can't remember. Yeah, knife, and like the rivets and all in there are beautiful, and yeah,
What type of knife is it? It's like a culinary knife? or-
yeah, culinary knife. Yeah, so it's in the kitchen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dreading bringing it down to him because the thing's been through the war. I was like, last time I brought down to Sharpen, I went down to visit him and he was just like, what are you doing? I'm
What
like,
are you
Cutting
doing?
lemons.
yeah.
Stains everywhere.
Chopping and stuff. I see the whole house use it. I wanted to use it. I don't want to just sit
yeah.
it.
Sit it on the
of
wall.
The other
yeah,
knife I
exactly.
bought, it's just kind of, it's in my room and I love it. Like, no one's touching that. But like,
Yeah.
this one's meant to be used. So
Yes, yeah.
enjoyed. And yeah, I didn't realize how much a quality made knife made your life, and how
God, yeah.
much more enjoyable cooking is.
Yeah.
Not that I do much about the moment, but it's not like just cutting through something. You're like, what else can I cut?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Um,
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
so
Oh,
that's
that does make
probably
a
one
difference.
way. That's a piece. Everything
Yeah.
else can.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd
nice.
use.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks a
so
million for
much.
coming in.
Thanks a
Thank
million
you so
for
much,
coming on.
Miguel.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
So
can
yeah,
we find
where can we if people want to get in touch with you, where can they get you?
So my website is joshthejeweler.com. My Instagram is kind of where I'm most active. Hard to keep on top of the website, but yeah, at josh.ie on Instagram is my handle. So yeah, message me there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
That'd be
And,
Fab.
Well, thanks
so
a million for
much.
coming in. Thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for Darren over there, our producer from Television Studios, for making everything
Possible.
run so smoothly. Yeah, thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.